What do I need to do today?
Let me check my to-do list. Oh yeah, so in the morning, I'm gonna film Notion video. Now, every day of my life starts with Notion. I already cannot really imagine my life without it. As you might already know, I work as a full-time content creator right now, and I'm my own boss, and I don't currently have any employees. So I'm really glad to have Notion with me because it's just like a virtual assistant of mine. It has helped and assisted me to become a content creator and to create the life I want in the past years. And I'm really happy to say that Notion is sponsoring today's video. But actually, my relationship with Notion was not good when I first started using it. I still remember the time when I spent tons of my time watching Notion tutorials and felt very much overwhelmed. And then I ended up spending much more time playing around with Notion, trying to make it as aesthetic or fancy as possible, then actually using it to be organized and productive. I'm glad that I did not give up on Notion at that time and eventually found a simple and uncomplicated way to build a template that is clean, functional, and pretty when it comes to my personal organization. Come with me, I'll show you how I do it and how you can do it too. Okay? First and foremost, instead of dive directly into Notion, I'll first pull out a pen and a paper to write down what I need Notion for and to also draw out what I would like my template to look like. I love starting out Notion this way because by thinking through my needs and also what I would like my template to look like, it helps me filter out so many distractions or like unnecessary functions that I wouldn't even use. Only the essentials left. And it just makes my life easier. Yeah, I finished jotting them down. So as you can see, the three main things that I would like Notion to help me with are a place to track my everyday to-do list, and also a place for me to work on my content, and also a place for me to store all my ideas and things. And by the way, this is exactly what I wrote down back then. I lost the original one, so I drew them out again. Now, let me tour you around my Notion template. Welcome to my cozy little Notion homepage. And I really like how in Notion you have all this like emoji that you can use, you can apply, and also all these like very nice photos that you can use for like cover photo or for like banner, etc. Many options here. And for example, I really like kind of like vintage type of photo, so like many options as well. And I think just by adding the emojis and the pictures, it already makes my template pretty aesthetic and beautiful, which I'm really satisfied. And moving on, I really like to track my own mood every day. So by the end of the day, I'll just write down how I felt that day. And super cool, I only learned it like 2 days ago, like how to embed playlist in Notion. So cool, like look at this here. And then I also embedded a quote widget here, and every day the quote is going to change, which I find just super cool and inspiring. And one of my favorite places in my homepage is this like brand dump page. So if I have any like ideas, even if it's like crazy ideas, I'm just gonna dump them all here. And I even reminded myself that all my ideas are amazing, just like dump them all out here in this page. And even when I'm outside, I can use Notion app to note down all the ideas I have. And in my homepage, I also have this like travel to bring list. So this list really helps me to not forget to bring anything important when I'm going to travel abroad. Let's move on to the next step, my to-do list. Having a to-do list is a must for me because without this, I probably would waste a lot of time every day just like wandering around doing nothing. And actually the structure of my to-do list is inspired by Damon Dominic. And as you can see, I divided my day into AM and PM. And let me show you a super cool thing here. Let's say if I already finished all the things in the morning, then what I do is I'll just highlight them all in green background and then just throw all of them, drag all of them to my main file. Then just like that. Being able to drag things around is one of my favorite functions in Notions because it's just so convenient. And by the end of the month, I can just click my May page and just look back how many things I accomplished, you know, how hard I worked that month. I just felt super nice to look back to all the things I accomplished. Let's move on to our next step, my YouTube space. So without this place, I really don't know if I can come this far and be this consistent in content creation. So as you can see on the table, there are some basics information such as the status of the video and also the expected publish date. And if you click into the page of a video, there are more pages inside, such as the uploading checklist and also the reminder of what I should include in my description box. But the one that I use most extensively is the scripting page. And yeah, it's super messy, but this page documents my whole creative process from brainstorming the video ideas to conducting the research to scripting. So this like YouTube space is really where all the videos you saw on my channel were born. And of course, there's another dedicated page for my podcast. And as you can see, so far I really did not use any advanced functions, only like pages and simple databases with like more pages inside, but it already works really well for me. Okay, now our final stop of the day, my reading page. So this page is where I track the progress of my reading and also a corner where I take notes. So you might be wondering, what about my language learning page? The thing is, as you already know, I rarely take notes when it comes to languages, so I just created this page like a few weeks ago, and I plan to store all the sentences I create myself in different languages here so that it will be easier for me to find them and it wouldn't just be like, you know, scattered around in different notebooks or like Word files. So that's the end of the tour of my simple Notion workflow, and for sure, my template is not as aesthetic or fancy as others, but the most important thing is whether it suits my needs and whether it works well for me, and that's really all that matters. And I would really recommend you to review your template once every month to see if there's anything to add or to delete, and if there is something that you want to add but don't know how to do it, you can always Google it or watch others' tutorials. So instead of watching tons of tutorials and learn like many different functions up front, I actually prefer to first think through my needs first and then go learn how to do it. I find this method much less overwhelming. Lastly, I just want to say that Rome wasn't built in a day, and so is Notion. So you can first build a basic structure and gradually add on things here and there. Personally, I really love using Notion, and if it can help me to create the life I want, it can potentially help you to create a life you want too. Their personal plan is completely free, which given all the function it has, I find it really incredible. You can try it out for free right away using my link in the description box. And that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it helpful. And Pearly will see you again in the next video. Bye bye!